The secondary just sucked so bad. We just need
Yes.
playmakers back there.
Yeah. Sean,
Sean's back.
Sean's back. The two rookies that you were excited about, we were talking about that.
Sean's on mute.
I think you're on. Think on. Let's think on.
I'm sorry, my Wi-Fi kicked me out, and then okay, yeah.
Okay.
So I know Ken kind of hit on it. Everyone wants to talk about the first rounder, who was semi-controversial, but we knew we were going to tackle in the first round, just not the player. I don't care. I'm not interested in what a right tackle does. I'm gonna be honest. I'm watching a game. I want to see. I know how important and critical they are. I trust Tom Cable. Go ahead, do your thing with the boy.
I agree.
I'm not watching that. What I am is Morig for sure, because for years and years and years and years, defensively as a whole, we just need to hit a star eventually. I feel like he's got that polish on him, just how he plays the game. Even his like maturity and mannerisms, like he has that charisma where you can just kind of see him being a marketable player, a person. You could see him being like, you know, someone that is detail oriented and someone who has natural leadership skills, and he's likable, really likable kid. So that's what I'm looking at. Outside of that, I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna go with Divine Diablo. I feel like he was a tweener. You picked a hybrid. You're not. That's up to Gus and Ron Milas. But because a lot of some uncertainties and because of his background, be able to play kind of in a linebacker safety type third down, I think he might be a guy that, you know, has some special teams value at first and develops a role as the season goes on, because he's a really good tackler. I don't know if you've watched some of his film, but he can tackle. Surprise, I believe led the NFL in missed tackles last year. So just having a guy on third down that can wrap up Travis Kelce short of the first down marker. Just having a guy that can come up and take out a halfback toss and make a good tackle going side to sideline. So those are my two. Obviously both on defense, because that's where we need Gus. This is Gus's imprint. These are his players. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna skip two veterans who we want to see go for right now. And on the show, what is the show? The Shop, right? With LeBron, the LeBron James show, right? I threw a little Tom Brady in there too. So Tom Brady, I guess during free agency last year, there was a team. There was Tampa Bay, obviously, and then there were teams that kind of went and kind of left at the last minute. And Tom said, you know, you keeping that motherfucker? Oh, you know what I'm saying? So everybody, of course, the Raider Nation thinks that you're talking about Derek. I don't think he was coming West Coast anyway, unless it was the 49ers, because that's his boyhood team.
Right.
But just for the fun, dude, who do we think he was referring to?
It could have been the Chargers in LA. I mean, they didn't have what's his name there yet, Herbert, right? So I think it could have been the Chargers. I don't know. The Raiders were being mentioned, and it was either one of the two. I think it's either one of the two. And the Niners.
I think the Niners only because too it was he has that thing with Garoppolo. He just like the fact that he was he's the greatest of all time. And you're drafting a successor instead of just riding his whole career out. I mean, that was, I mean, that to me, that was, and that's, and they traded him purposely, took a worse deal for him not to go to Cleveland, for him to Garoppolo go to San Francisco, because that's where Tom wanted to go, because there was, you know, that's how Belichick works.
Yeah. I mean, when it first came out, absolutely. The first name I thought of was Carr, but then I realized,
he was coming here.
Yeah, there you go. So, and I don't think, like, you know, I have my own opinions on him, but I don't think that's a player you're kind of like that motherfucker, because there's no history there with Carr. There's no like,
I agree.
And he's a good guy. Nobody like pokes Derek Carr unless it's like a defender on an AFC rival. Sometimes they'll give him a little, but that's not going to come from Tom. I think the Jimmy G tie is good. I also believe the Bears are were a potential at the time because they were holding on to. They did not have any stability at the position.
Oh,
They ended up trading up and going, and they were rumored to be a big market team that was, trying to play with him. So maybe it was a team like that, like which had at the time Nick Foles and who I don't even know.
Guys. Trubisky, right?
Yeah, that's the Bears. My God,
Trubisky was it?
And they ended up getting
Trubisky.
And they ended up getting Trubisky, and they ended up getting Andy Dalton, and then drafting the young kid out of Ohio Fields, Justin Fields. So I'm gonna say that Niners, and then the Bears is my sneaky pick, but not
I like
Carr,
that. I like that.
Yeah. The Bears actually, in retrospect, they do have with Allen Robinson and David Montgomery, they actually have more weapons around. They just don't have the quarterback to kind of get things to get things done.
That defender, that star defender on the, I forget his name, but
52.
Khalil Mack, that's it.
Khalil Whack.
It's hard to find these days.
Yeah. The only good thing the Raiders did is they actually won the game that he played against them.
That's
like the only thing. That was Gruden's Super Bowl. It
still is. Chiefs win.
Fun game, man. That was awesome.
Fun time. Too bad there's like 17 games now in the season, not just one. For John Gruden. The two vets you want to see going. I can go first on this one. I think one would be Nevin Lawson. I'm good. I hope Hobbs takes his spot. I hope Amik takes his spot. He's this guy who just plays okay and then panics at the last second and drives me crazy with the pass interferences. And then it's Carl Nassib. I actually wrote this before he came out, and I just need production. I need some kind of production. I need pressures. I need hurries. It's hard to get to the quarterback. I totally respect that, and I understand it. But at the very least, give me at least if I look at Ngakoue on all those different teams last year, he was still one of the league leaders in rush, in hurries, in pressures. He can get to the quarterback. Doesn't play the run great, but they're not going to ask him to do that. Even last year, as bad as the Raiders defense was last year, they still have put people in 3rd and 16, 3rd and 10s, or 3rd and 18s, where Drew Lock threw a 7-yard pass that went 99, 92, 98 yards for the Broncos last year to Jerry Jeudy. I couldn't believe it. But it's such a nightmare.
Thanks for reminding me about that.
You're killing us to this show, man. You're killing us.
I'm having bad memories this week. But Carl Nassib and Nevin Lawson, the guys. I want everybody who plays to be productive, and those guys just aren't productive.
It's two really good ones, man. And I'm, as much as I hate to say it, maybe Jalen Richard's time is up, and I like him. I like him as a player,
Me too.
That's hard for me to say because I like him. The other one is what's the receiver's name that just? Oh God, what's his name? Zay Jones. Thank you very much. Yeah, I just don't get that. Then I'd probably say Nathan Peterman too. Just what is that? It's a roster spot, and I don't get it. I will never understand it. Jalen Richard is a tough one, though. I think, with what we have, I don't know.
Yeah, for the sake of the show, I'll try to be different, but I have to say Jalen as well. And with you guys too, I like him. He's nice, but when you make that type of investment for Kenyon Drake and you hopefully re-up Josh Jacobs, because if you're going to draft a running back in the first round, you're going against the logic of that positional value. You're saying you're going to re-up that guy because he's that good. So to me, if you have a duo like that and they're healthy and camp's going well, Jalen Richard saves us a little money off the books, and you can find a guy on 3rd down that can chip a edge rusher that can go out and catch a pass in the flats. Louis Riddick, right? You can find a veteran, someone you can do that.
Theo Riddick.
Lewis. I'm confusing. I do that all the time. But
I like him. I like Riddick.
But I think that is easy and fair as Jalen. And again, sorry, I don't have anything sexy to say. But Carl Nassib, I absolutely believe. Like I said, I thought he'd already be gone. They spent a lot of money. If you're a healthy scratch, with playoffs on the line.
For a team who has no pass rush.
On a defense that is with some of the worst of all time in the NFL ever, and you're a healthy scratch.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how. I don't know what. Yeah, it's just I would have been happy if they just traded him for a 7th rounder and just dumped off the money. Like you just get rid of him. So
yeah,
those are my two.
Hey Sean, wasn't Nassib the guy who got tired of chasing Marcus Mariota in practice and was getting pissed off? I think he was.
I remember that. Yeah.
Remember? You remember
stop
that?
fucking running, man.
Yeah.
It might have been him. Yeah. So I think you're right. That's a good dig up. But yeah, I don't. Those people and Zay Jones is a good one because the mythical tale of his big season on deck. Well, we need return investment in these other players that we've drafted, that we've invested in. And Zay's nice. He has a great relationship with Derek, but that's another one. We need the youth we've invested in to kick the tires, get out there and produce, and be who we got you to be.
Yeah, please.
So, and the way, that's a good one, Ken. Yeah, Zay is like, I know Vic Toffer's been pretty spicy sometimes, like picking his underdog person. Last year Aguilar was and this year he's kind of saying
I would love to see it. I would love to see it.
I'd
love to see it.
I want to see this first round picks to develop, man, and it should be consistent. So I don't know. I'm tired of it.
I want to see Ruggs be a star. I want to see him be a speed demon. I want to see him take a 5-yard hitch and go 45. I want to see reverses and end arounds and jet sweeps.
Back shoulders for Brian Edwards.
Brian Edwards just bossing people up in the red zone, just intermediate route.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like that's fine. I don't want to see Zay Jones like highlighted on a 3rd and 8 play.
Foster Moreau.
That's exactly what it is.
Foster Moreau high point in the football like he did in Indianapolis a couple years ago. Man. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
No more Spider 2 white banana. In the end zone.
Let's scrap that. I do like Al Ingold though, fullback flats and the
it was funny when I was watching tape online. He was talking about. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think I'm Marcus Johnson. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. He runs that play a lot.
Yeah, he does. Yes, he does.
Yeah, I was dying when he said that. It was so
defensive coordinators know that too.
No, seriously.
Lead the league in field goals. Yeah.
Exactly. Got some questions for you for the text line. Thank you guys for thank you guys and girls for texting us these questions.
Oh, cool.
If Richie goes down, I think they're going to Richie Incognito. If Richie goes down, do we trust John Simpson to take his place?
Absolutely.
I mean, let's go. I mean, I think the thing about John Simpson is I love the fact that number one, he's a great run blocker. Got to work on his pass pro, which is fine. He has Tom Cable there, but he played last year, which is a big plus for me in this situation.
Yep. Yeah, I'm all about it, man. I watched him at Clemson a lot, and I go back and I was hoping they took him, and I was so happy we didn't. Raider Rue and I called that one, and
Rue.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Rue. But I think Incognito's only got so much time left in the tank there. He's a great player. He's dirty and rugged, but it's time for the young guns to get in there too. So I definitely think Simpson can handle that.
Yeah, Simpson. If or not, I think we have a swing player with Nick Martin that is behind Andre James if he doesn't earn and win the center position, which I hope so because they sprinkled him with a little bit of extra coin for no reason, and they shipped out Hudson. So let's hope center's at least solid. Don't give me Pro Bowl Hall of Famer. Just don't be
the worst in the league.
don't be doing the wrong checks when Carr's like being a wizard before the snap and Martin doesn't get the ball off correct. Like I can't see that. So but yeah, I think Simpson is kind of the bulldozer type. I don't think he has that polish in the pass game, which is concerning because we're kind of have a lot of moving parts, but that's up to Cable to make it work. But yeah, Incognito is important because him and Colton together running off the left side.
Oh, it's beautiful.
We're very in sync. the like nonverbal communication and assignments, it just looked right. So it'd be nice to have that back with Kenyon Drake and Josh Jacobs and see those yards per carry go back up over 4 where they should be.
Yeah. Dave, I had to remix your question because it was a little vulgar. But basically, does Carl Nassib make this football team? I was gonna say I hope he doesn't, because that means the more athletic guys have done their job. But I think it's a possibility only because we have preseason this year. Somebody's gonna get hurt. Somebody's gonna get hurt. I mean, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So I would say it's 50-50. I'd probably go 60-40. He does make the team.
Wow. I think that's pretty high. I'd say it's like 40-60 the
other Listen,
I
don't think so. I mean, like I don't want to make the team because I don't see the pass rush. I don't see the ability. I don't see the quickness. I don't see the spin move. I don't see anything that makes me feel like Carl Nassib is gonna make this team.
And you know what's interesting? Let me put one more thing, and then Ken, you could. What's interesting though is like if you look at the mentality of some of these players, like Crosby had some off-field stuff, and just following sports in general, you see some of these people who get mental clarity off the field, and they become a better player, right? They get juiced by it, and I wonder for him, it doesn't seem like he was deeply shameful about being gay or hidden or closeted. But you never know. There might be a spark there. The locker room's more endearing to him. Hey man, we got
mentally
you.
He'll feel free.
And then maybe that sets up for something increased on the field. I don't know, but I think he is pretty slim at this point. But you're right, injuries happen.
Yeah.
No, I thought before the season started, before the announcement came out, I'm sorry, I didn't think he'd be on the team, just the way that Gus Bradley works. And it has nothing to do with his sexual orientation at all. I'm purely looking as a production standpoint. I mean, he showed a little bit of flash there, like a little bit, but I don't think it was enough to stay on the team. And I'd probably say I'm kind of more with Sean on this one, with the 40-60, I think, right? Yeah.
We'll see what happens there. Let's see what we got here. Next one would be, how much time does Ferrell have left?
He's got his whole rookie. He's got his rookie contract.
Yeah.
That's 2 more years, right? 2 more years.
Yeah. He's not. I mean, will they pick up the 5th-year option if he doesn't boom this year? That's the big question. Is his 4th year or 3rd year?
Third
year.
But do they pick up the rookie option? For him is the big question. And
at this rate,
no. If you go by Pro Football Focus, he's the 13th best defensive end in football. I'm
Lawrence
not sure.
Taylor.
Yeah, he's OT. Yeah, he's OT.
So here's my question: do you think he's better than Jefferson? Because he's gonna move inside. No, right? Is
he better than Solomon Thomas?
I think that's his argument. There's something there. Solomon, I'm pretty high on thinking if this guy puts it together, we may have nailed
gets hurt a lot too.
A reclamation project, if you will.
I think so too, man. That guy's he's a mountain of a man.
He moves.
He can play.
He moves quick, right? For his size, and it kind of like, well, again, bringing up missed moves like Malik Collins last, that was nothing. But maybe Solomon is what they're looking for inside. But between Hank and you know what? Now I'm not even thinking it, but guess what? Cleveland, like, if his use is essentially sometimes you can play on the edge outside, most of the time we now have to stash you inside. I don't know. Does that help Carl Nassib? Like, if Nassib, they throw him inside for some snaps and be like, we just need a positional rotational guy that shows up. Like, we're not getting anything out of Cleveland. So maybe you admit your mistake early and move on. But he's got
so unknown. It's so unknown right now, especially with Bradley there too. And it's going to be interesting.
Interesting. Yeah. Last one would be Josh Jacobs last year averaged 3.8 yards per carry. Over under. I guess this fan wants to know over under on the 4.3 yards per carry. So as you guys discuss, think about that. I'm gonna look at the leaders in rushing last year to see where the yards per carry were.
Earlier I brought up, and I thought he was 3.9, but maybe it was 3.8. Regardless, he was under 4. And I should have said it because just earlier when I said it, I was like back up over 4 per carry. And in my mind, I was thinking about 4.3 is where I'd like to see Jacobs. I think Drake is going to be a different volume size. He's going to be more big play. But yeah, you have to get over 4 yards a carry in today's NFL with the weapons we have around Carr and all these space things that we can do with Moreau and Waller. We need to be able to pound the rock. And until this defense is proven, there's going to be games where we need to hold those leads if we have them. At times last year, that was not the case. But I'm going to say 4.3 is actually that's the number. But I'll push. I'll say I'll go with over. I'll go with over 4.3.
Okay.
No. Yeah, I think he's right there. I think he's at 4.2, 4.3. And I think Drake is going to definitely help that number if Gruden plays it right. And yeah, and he's going to be healthy enough to do this. And I think if you go back and you watch, some of the plays where he's at the 1 yard line, he's trying to, 1 yard line, how many times are you going to run it? And that those plays kind of hurt a little bit. So if Gruden gets a little bit more creative with his play calling, it will help his yards per carry. But I'd say he's definitely over 4. Definitely over 4 this year, just at the least.
And it'd be nice to see some of the runs be. I mean, again, you got the film don't lie guys and people who just watch an immense amount of film. That's not me. But I just feel like a lot of the times Gruden's running the ball, the whole damn stadium knows he's running the ball, and that's frustrating. I want to see some like single back, split shotgun, pump fake, play action, ball in the stomach runs where Josh or Drake has those open field opportunities and linebackers are kind of stalled. But a lot of times Gruden's running the ball. He's got 3 tight ends on the field. He's got 2 wide receivers pinched in close. Like, we know you're running the ball or you're throwing a 1 yard out to Waller.
Yeah. So it looks like, let's see, rushing yards per attempt. So, I mean, good to know that week 1 is J.K. Dobbins, who averaged 6.0 last year, week 1 against Baltimore. That should be fun. Nick Chubb is one. Nick Chubb is 5.6.
Oh my God.
Couple other game. Dalvin Cook is 5 yards per carry. So is Kamara's 5 yards a carry. Gus Edwards 5 yards a carry. He better be able to stop the run week 1 of Raiders.
Yeah.
And then so what? Henry is 5.4. So, when Henry, we all know how Aaron Jones, 5.5. So, yeah, I mean, he was 3.9 last year. So I don't want to undercut him. But 3.5. So listen, we'll see what happens as far as that goes. The guy who I really, again, I would have drafted all defense in that first round. I would have drafted Josh Jacobs. I wanted David Montgomery, and the Raiders the Raiders chose the other. He just fell in love with one. He fell in love with one player, and that's what he does. His draft is all about one player. Yeah. It always is. It always is. All right, interesting show today. Interesting topic today. We had a little non-football talk there as far at the beginning. Ken,
Good.
unless Sean, you have anything else to say, but Ken,
I'm gonna just throw one more thing, just to go back to the Nassib thing. Let's change the way we think, and be better people to other people. And it's none of just what you guys said. I don't care because it's football. I just want the Raiders to win. And that guy's just a person. Take it easy with these slurs, man. We got to be better.
Yeah, some of the.
Whether it's calling them the F word or the N, you call a black person the N word. Let's be better people out there, man. It's about love, and don't be so full of hate and negativity and narrow-minded. Be open, because you'll never know what it's like to walk in another person's shoes. You never will. And be open about it.
Not good. I'm glad we went back to that because it is a big topic. And I think it's like, I love to have fun with this kind of stuff when it comes out because there's so much opportunities for humor. Humor is a big segue for a lot of communities that are in a difficult situation to use to not only share what's going on, but also to, just kind of present it in a different way to where
Yeah.
people can open up to these ideas. But there are some serious undertones to this a little bit, because think about where he's donating his money to, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah.
The money is going
100,000.
to people, and some of them are young, and some of them are, the people who are struggling with how their identity is accepted or not, or how it's perceived, and all these things. And that's just terrible, man. I got enough going on in my life to worry about how anyone else wants to present themselves sexually. I could really care less. I'm a conventional straight white man with a wife and kids. I'm simple, but I feel it's hard. It's very complicated. So, we just, I think it's a good thing. Just we need to champion that effort to just be like, hey man, well, dude's gay. He also plays football. He went to Penn State, one of the best schools in the Big Ten. He's a badass dude. Like he
could probably kick most of people's asses listening to our shows.
He's
So
what, like 6'7", 260 pounds.
Yeah, he won. He's one of the winners. Bill Walton used to always joke around and say he's one of the winners of the genetic lottery. Like he's a big dude, and I think this. No matter what happens in the rest of his career, I've always said if you are playing Division I football,
right,
you had a tremendous. No matter what happens in the pros, or if you don't make the pros, you've had a tremendous athletic career. I mean, it is so difficult to make D1 in any sport. That's crazy. And in closing, I did want to I think it's called the Trevor Project. I do think it's really cool that's the one, and I think that nobody should feel like they have to leave this world because they can't be themselves. So
yes, sir.
With that being said, we'll let it go, and we'll see everybody next week. Thank you for listening and joining us and watching the Cover 3D Raiders podcast. We're out.
Peace. All right, guys. I'll talk.